Welcome back to Hustle and Pro. I'm your host, Kelly Walker. So hopefully you saw part one of our FIFA World Cup 26 conversation. If you haven't, maybe go back and check out that episode because it really gives you the first part of our frequently asked questions chat. And this is part two. So what is one of the most asked questions or in your mind about this World Cup being here and us getting to be a part of it?
Well, I mean, because it's here in Dallas and I've never been, how do I get to go? How do I buy a ticket?
Yeah.
That's
tickets,
my number one question.
Tickets.
And everybody's asking us that, right?
Yeah, everybody
people,
asks. I'm asking
friends from all over the nation saying, "Can I come visit you?
Sure.
Can you get me a ticket?" I'm like, well, I don't know how to get a ticket for myself, let alone you. So that means work with me, and then we'll talk about you next.
Yeah. So the how do I get tickets is a doozy. And a lot of people, can you get me tickets? That's the second part. I'm like, I can't get me tickets. So no, I doubt I can get you tickets. But here's what we know. Here's what we know right now. We've talked about this already. Right now, hospitality is what's on sale. And that means the premium stuff. So that means premium seating with upscale food and beverage. And those are suites and lounges and specialty seating areas. That's not your regular, bench or seat somewhere in the stadium. Those are the upgrades. So those went on sale. Corporate sponsors. So people can actively buy those already. But it's not like everything's available. You can't just go buy a single match right now for that necessarily, especially if you're trying to buy a match for US in the US. There's all these guardrails set up. But you can buy it's called Follow Your Team or follow a venue series. So there are ways to buy in suites for that upgraded hospitality. So we looked at this via text when it all came out, and it is pricey, pricier than you'd think for these upgrades. And so the Dallas, you can go on and look, and there's a drop-down menu of which stadium you're talking about and all that. And so Dallas pricing for these suites and hospitality starts at per person $2,300.
Okay. Yeah. How many matches do I get for that? Is that?
I think that's per.
Is it they're 2 a day or just?
No.
It's one match.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Okay.
It's
so
corporate.
When's the next round of tickets coming?
Exactly. It's corporate, and it's not your everyday soccer fan is buying that. Yeah. So so then we move on to general tickets. So that is actually coming sooner than later. So general tickets are all going to open and be sold in phases. They're not just going to open it all up and it's crazy free for all, because I think it would be wild. Phase 1 actually starts September 10th. Okay. So for 10 whole days, you can't sleep on this. For 10 days, there is a Visa card member ticket window open, like a draw, like a lottery, which is common now. So where I think it helps combat some of the not genuine buyers,
price gougers.
Yeah. And so for 10 days, if you're a Visa ticket holder, you need your FIFA ID, which we've gone on and gotten. It's just a registration process, right? So when you go to FIFA.com/tickets, Visa card holders will get in there with their FIFA ID, and basically you're applying to get into it like a lotto. And that's a 10-day window. And then by the end of September, I think it is, they're going to tell you if you're in that group of people available to buy.
So you have 10 days to apply.
10 days to apply.
And then they announce
they'll close that, and then they'll tell you if you got in or not by the end of the month.
Okay.
And then the next month, you can start buying. They'll open up to your group, to the group who got in.
Wow. Good information.
Tickets for single games are open.
Okay.
Which sounds crazy, right?
So that'll all be through FIFA.
Oh yeah.
Again, same thing.
I would not go elsewhere.
Right.
I mean,
no Ticketmaster.
I would just really worry. I mean, that's where you're going to get the higher prices and the scams and stuff. So we're trying to do it right, where we go through FIFA and get lucky and get them on the first round. But that is the first phase. The last thing I want to mention is the other way to be involved. If you don't end up buying a suite, don't end up buying a general ticket because you can't, then there's a volunteer aspect. They are going to, tournament-wide, need 65,000 volunteers.
Wow.
I don't know how that breaks out to Dallas, but 65,000 across all these cities.
That's a lot.
And so you have to be 18 years old. You have to be willing to and commit to 8 shifts during this 6-week time frame. I think they just want people that are like really, really interested and not just like,
I just want to sneak in somehow.
Yeah, so they want it to like commit,
Right.
We don't want just one volunteer for this one day kind of thing. So you have to really like, okay, can I do that? Am I willing to do that? That kind of thing. That's probably a hurdle for a lot of people. You don't get paid, right? It's a volunteer. And so August 11th, those applications opened. And then in October, they'll start tryouts. So like it's like
you and I are trying out.
I would, if I make it that far, I would. So October through January, they interview you.
Oh, sorry.
And talk to you. Yeah. What?
No, I was just saying, like, what's a tryout?
I think it's an interview.
We're gonna try to see.
I don't think it's like physically anything. I think they just are using the soccer term.
For sure.
I hope.
Okay.
I hope. And then starting in December, they'll make offers to volunteers and start filling up that 65,000 spots. So what I think, like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know. Okay, when you look into the volunteer details, there's so many different lanes you can volunteer in. So there's 23 different roles. And like, think bigger than just at a game or something. In fact, your volunteer shift it's not a ticket to the game. Like you're standing at a different post. It's not a way to go in and watch the game. But airports, hotels, a volunteer center, and the stadium. Like these are examples of 4 different places volunteers will be. And it's everything from an anti-doping committee where they need help with how they're going to do whatever they do for anti-doping, whatever they test.
Athletes.
And go look at those 23 volunteer roles and see like which one matches with your skill set or personality and use that and try to get involved, Yeah,
you're around the ball quite literally. And when you're around that,
it's so fun.
It's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Like greeters and hospitality. Arriving. I would go stand at the airport and tell a team right this way, like whatever. If I get to see these players come off of a plane or something, like
that would be kind of cool, right?
Like so cool.
But you're representing the United States too. You're like, hi, I'm an American. Welcome to our country. Exactly. And Texas, my name's Fred. This is Kelly, and we're so glad you're here.
I know.
Like, how cool is that? Now that they leave, going, what a sweet.
I would do it.
Sweet city that was.
Yes. If I'm allowed to do it, I'll do it. I don't know.
You're going to get a good job.
But we'll see.
I'll probably be selling popcorn.
It's a big commitment, but I also feel like when else do you get the chance to be around this tournament and just the excitement of it. So like I said,
it's a once in a lifetime.
Like I'll do whatever.
We'll never have another opportunity like this. So like people, there's been griping about, why does FIFA need to have free volunteers? Listen, I think it's opposite. This is a gift to us all.
I think it's
to enjoy one global event.
And then maybe because we all know, like in the sports world, volunteers run this stuff. Or this stuff doesn't run without volunteers. We have, since your kid's kicking a soccer ball at age 3, like parents volunteer. Everybody's volunteering to make all this stuff work. It just, the staff of these, even a giant, like FIFA, there's not enough staff to make 104 games work on their own.
Right.
So I get it. They need the help. So what teams are going to be here? So we get that question a lot. Who's going to be around here? The bottom line is, who knows yet who's going to be in Frisco? That's to be determined, but I want to kind of like explain how it's determined and how teams even make it into this tournament, countries, teams, delegations. So we mentioned the 48 teams. So do you understand? I know you understand, but I have to write it all out. The confederations under FIFA get seats, get tickets or spots in this tournament. And there's 6 of them now. So I want to kind of talk through what those are. So the first one is AFC. That's the Asian Confederation. So they get 8 seats. And they're kind of the first round of a confederation to start qualifying their teams. In general, this is crazy. Qualifications started September of 2023.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like so long ago, they start eliminating and qualifying and advancing. So right as of today, there's only 13 teams qualified for the 48 field. So there's a lot of movement that's going to happen between right now, as we're at the end of August, and the end of March, when this all the rest of this field is about to get laid out. So there's a lot in the soccer world. People are watching all these qualifiers. Okay, but in the Asian Confederation, so 8. So the ones that are already in: Australia, Iran, Japan, Jordan, Korea, Republic of Korea, Korea Republic. Did I say that backwards?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
That's a hard one for me. So those are already in. And I think they've already eliminated like 30 something from their confederation.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a big one. And then next up is the CAF, which is the African Confederation. So they get 9 spots. And then I don't think those are determined yet, any of those teams. And then CONCACAF. So that's most.
Us. Yep.
You know, we're most used to that. That's North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. That's what CONCACAF stands for. And that gets the 3 host countries are automatically in,
right?
Plus 3 more.
So it's a really good year for anybody in CONCACAF because you could be the 4th, 5th, and 6th and still be in.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So 6 from CONCACAF, and we know 3 of them because it's U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And then, so I don't know how to say CONMEBOL or CONMEBOL. I don't know.
Yeah,
I say mobile because I say it like
let's stick with
American accent. But that is South America, and they have 6. And
some pretty good ones down there.
Okay, yeah. So like some of the big boys. So Argentina,
defending world champs,
Brazil, and Ecuador are already taking 3 of those spots.
Who's who
as
of
they should.
Soccer, yeah.
Right. And so so that's CONMEBOL.
Watch Ecuador too. I think they're going to be different.
Okay, I'll do it. Okay, there's a new confederation, Oceania. So they get a spot, and that's New Zealand.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the big one, UEFA, so the European, they have 16 spots.
Okay.
I feel like just in the soccer world, that's like, while there's power players like Argentina and Brazil, like UEFA's like the most, you know, it's just like the most common soccer, condensed density of soccer, I guess.
Is that where all the new teams were added to? And the new
I don't
format?
know all the old numbers. That's a good question.
I would imagine it would probably be in UEFA because there's so many teams over there that would beat any of these teams that didn't.
Right.
That did make it.
Maybe they expanded. Maybe they expanded a little everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. So the UEFA, they get 16, and their qualifiers are not going to end until March of 2026. Oh my gosh. So that is like that competitive from here on out is like everybody's watching to see who's going to qualify and win. And there's 54 hopefuls that are going to get those 16 spots.
Wow.
And then all that to say, there are still some like, I don't know, wild card kind of like up in the air spots available. Some of these confederations can qualify for like another spot if they make it into a playoff. So there's a FIFA playoff tournament, 6 teams. So after this is all settled,
like
6 more teams.
Like
exactly. 6
play-in?
teams will play for 2 final spots.
Oh my goodness.
And that happens also in March.
Wow.
So by the end of March, we'll have it all. But we gotta wait. That to me is like really last minute.
Yeah.
For planning and everything. That means all these base camps might not be assigned and tidied up until all these teams are decided.
That's true. Yeah, but the interest level, I mean, FIFA's keeping you going, right? You're just building off each game, and you're like, this is the World Cup's kind of playing right now, just in all these little things. It's not just 3 weeks you're going to dial into. It's going to be all of this.
Always something. There's always something. Great. That's another good segue into like, what's the timeline? Like we just talked about when these teams are getting determined. So timing wise, so the World Cup starts June 11th and ends July 19th, 2026.
Oh, wow.
So we celebrated, obviously, on June 11th, we celebrated the 1 year to go campaign. Kickoffs all around the 3 host countries. All the host cities did big kickoffs. There's countdown clocks at airports now. There's countdown clocks in Frisco in front of the Hall of Fame. So it's on. Like it's, we're within that year time frame. We've been waiting on. Yeah, so June 11th through July 19th. The first game, do you know where it is?
I'm going to say it's Mexico City.
Yep, it's Azteca.
Right. Interesting, at 9,000 feet in the air.
It's going to be like a whole vibe, a whole scene.
Crazy.
I'm excited for them because that's just like a historic soccer
Mecca. Yeah. It's Mecca in North America.
So they get game 1, and then Guadalajara gets game 2, and then the U.S. opener is in L.A.
Okay.
So
at Los Angeles Stadium.
Yeah.
Or LA Soccer Stadium, not SoFi.
Right. Yeah. I say that because I don't want people to get confused going, oh, the World Cup's starting. Oh, but it's not in Dallas today? Nope. Oh, wait, now they're saying another opening. Well, that's LA. So there's the opening tournament match, there's the opening US match in LA, and then there's our Dallas opening match. So there's a lot of that first week, there's going to be a lot of like firsts and kickoffs, but that's why. There's the tournament kickoff in Mexico City on June 11th. Then the next day, LA opens the US portion of the tournament. And then Dallas, 2 days later, Dallas opens our portion of it, the Dallas host cities portion of it on the 14th. So I talked about that as match number 11. Then Dallas Stadium in Arlington has matches on, after that June 14th, they have a match on June 17th, 22nd, 25th, 27th, 30th, and then they have a July 3rd, July 6th, and then that 14th semi. So it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's also like spread out. It's interesting. And so they will start to populate some of the group draws and things start happening as early as like the first week of December when they start to know the majority of, I think. That's what I hear. I don't know how it all works, but I've seen those draws on TV. Have you ever watched
where
them?
they pick the ping pong ball and it's Argentina's coming to Dallas I think that's how it was done last time. And
I think that's their tradition.
And everybody's nervous that they get Argentina. We'd be excited to have it, but if the U.S. was in that bracket, we'd be
because that's like
good.
Your if you
that's
get
like
there's always a group they call.
It's like the death group, or there's a word that's
something that's you got the hardest group.
Yeah, right.
Toughest group to
Well, that would be like Argentina or Brazil.
Right.
We wouldn't want that. We always like it when we get some sort of fringe nation that.
Yeah, especially if you get two power players and then you're like, oh great, I got to play two of the best teams to get out of this. I think it's group of death.
The bracket of death,
something like that.
Something like that.
So that'll all start shaping up in just a few months, December.
Gosh,
so that's another milestone. So like team-wise or player-wise, in this era of soccer, who would you be like, all right, I want to see that guy or team?
Well,
country?
I mean, the obvious one is Messi. Everybody wants to see Messi and Argentina. They're the world champs, and Messi's getting older, and he won it though. But they were saying, it's emotional. This will probably be his last one, but I never bet against that guy. But
for real,
I mean, that's
your guy.
I pray Argentina gets in Dallas, but I'm sure everybody's saying that same prayer. So
right.
What about you?
Yeah, I anything Messi, I love. I got the chance to see him play here, and I've seen him play twice now, and so I'm just soaking it all in. Anything Messi. I got really into Mbappe a couple World Cups ago, and love anything that he's doing. So I mean, there's a lot, but
I think what about the U.S. too? I'd love to see some of the U.S. guys step up.
That's the thing. There's a lot of like our connected guys that we know as FC Dallas fans and U.S. soccer and MLS fans. Pulisic, love. Can't wait to see what he's done. He hasn't really been in the qualifying rounds and playing with U.S. a lot lately. They're kind of saving him, but I can't wait to see him. I love watching him play. And then anybody that's come through Frisco, I'm rooting for, obviously.
Naturally.
Like Weston McKennie, I love watching him play on the U.S. men's national team. And we have Shaq Moore on our roster right now, and he's a national team player. And Paxton Palmcall is an FC Dallas homegrown who's kind of he was there on February 4th when we learned about the matches. It was Paxton. It was Dirk. It was Emmett and Marty Turco.
Wow.
I feel like that's who all it was. But it's cool to see all these Dallas area sports superstars get really excited too, because a lot of these international guys like Dirk,
German,
their soccer's their original love, right?
Oh yeah.
You hear that all the time from international players. So there's just a cool excitement. So any FC Dallas or Frisco guys that have a chance to be on that roster, I would love to see them out there for sure. And non-American FC Dallas guys. Our goalie right now, Paz, he's been called up for international national team. So we have a lot. I feel like half of our FC Dallas roster is on other national teams.
Yeah.
So while they're not playing for Team USA, like I'm rooting for them as well.
For sure.
Because we know those guys and we want them to do well. So, I mean, they're playing on national teams all over the world too. So it's just this web of like random players and backgrounds and people we've followed through our teams that I can't wait to see.
Yeah, and our coach, he's looking really long and hard at the MLS players, and more than ever before. He's kind of got a new approach towards things, and if these guys do well in the World Cup, as MLS players now start getting offers from overseas, and that happened a lot in the last World Cup.
More and more.
And so this is a showcase for our homegrown talent or MLS players to shine and really get real worldwide exposure.
For sure. It's a turning point. Like that 94 you talked about, this is it again.
Yeah.
This is that next step of it. This is the next chance for U.S. soccer players, U.S. fans, U.S. just the place in the map of soccer in general to take the next step, for sure.
Me too.
So that is a lot.
That's a lot of information. That's good information.
That's like the first round of like dumping all this information out there. I feel like later on there'll be another round of like, oh, okay, now here's what we're talking about, and more details that will come out, like maybe where you can watch and how, I don't know, other information. So we'll see. We'll see as we keep learning.
But 99% of the people don't know anything you just described right now, because that information, no, I'm sure of it, because I'm a soccer enthusiast and I learned more in this podcast than I've known.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
So great job. Well, good research.
I had to write it all down.
Really good research.
Flying around for weeks in my emails and texting
really
all that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to write it all down so I can try to put it out there.
Oh, well, thank you for doing that.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you.
And thank you guys for tuning in and listening to this long episode of Hustle and Pro. Hope you learned something, and hope that if you weren't interested in the World Cup before, now maybe it's a little more interesting to you. And so if you're local, definitely keep your eyes open for anything FIFA World Cup 26, Dallas 26. All that means, now you can know what it means, and now you can get more involved and try to get some tickets or volunteer like we're going to try to do. All right, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Hustle and Pro. Subscribe on YouTube and check us out on Instagram, and we'll see you next episode.